Oh god! Oh no! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! No! 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 I tried one of the hardest Apex aim training routines for a week to see what would happen, and the results were staggering. As a benchmark, let's start with a quick game before, you know, I started doing this.
Below now, below now. Oh, she's here. Here?
Pathfinder army. Pathfinder one.
Wait, blade.
Not Path.
Just one.
Got it. Same team as before.
Right one.
Crack Ash.
Let her crack, let her look. What is this game? Nice.
Knocked one. Pushing up.
Ash, crack the left side.
Oh.
Knock. Crack by the last one. Crack. Knock. Knock one. Knock two. Nice.
Wait, 1 HP.
A general disclaimer is that I have done this routine previously. The PRG routine used to be my main routine when I did Kovaaks religiously. I haven't done any aim training in the last few months because when I was pushing for solo queue competitor in one stream, it screwed my wrist up. As for the routine itself, getting back into it was rough, but I was confident that I would get back into the groove of things after a night's rest. Once Kovaaks was done, I immediately translated it into some insane games.
Hey.
I can't!
You know, like...
Hello, Bozo.
Oh.
Dude, he...
That's what's it all about. Woo, baby. I feel like in a way it's like... Satisfied, I went off and prepared for the next day. The second day went about as expected, with my consistency already seeing good improvement. Overall, my scores were improving, albeit far from my personal records. In the meanwhile, some scores did take a dip though. It's just this is a part of my brain that doesn't understand. The games immediately afterwards weren't as big of a jump as the previous day, but the shots were still hitting. I'm a really dumb person. Manipulation, and ever since I've been like team GameStop, you know, like all for it. Ah! I really buy the aim stream sniping Fury chat. It's a good Fury. What? Day 3 was also not really that remarkable Kovaaks wise. My score had been taking a slow dip, but I was working hard on my discipline as I was wasting shots and spamming without really aiming. In the middle of the aim training, a viewer gave me a tip about turning off hit sounds. Try disabling hit sound for tracking, makes you react more to visual than audio input. Do I want that? I guess I want that. It will help with clicking. I'll try it. I'll try it for the second half of this. So that's oh wow.
One gifted sub, please.
I rely a lot on audio when I play. That's That's how I normally aim, is I don't look at my target, I listen. Like I aim at it and then I listen. And it gives me a really good reaction time. So it's hard when you don't really have that. But I think it helps also. That was a good tip, thank you, man. And it was a bit confusing at first, but ultimately it helped me with staying focused and relying on visuals instead of audio cues. On the third day we played ranked, so there wasn't really enough to include in a highlight reel. Today I'm exploring the idea of changing my focus, having realized that my focus, not mechanical skill, seems to be the biggest factor in whether I hit my shots or not. I'm starting to realize this is more of a mental exercise than I've initially expected. Thankfully that's something that can be practiced and improved on. I have identified a problem with my aim, chat, but I don't really know how to fix it. It's a rough one. It's a very simple one, but it's a very rough one. So I've brushed on it before. What I've noticed I'm doing wrong with my aim is I kind of don't aim. Does that make sense? Like, it's like my brain just, for some reason, I shoot a bunch of times. Like there, like I'm not fully locked in, but I'm still shooting. Like I know if I can get into a certain state of focus, I hit more shots. And when I'm in between my normal state and that state of focus, I get this like weird, like kind of shots in the dark, almost literally. And I'm not sure why I'm doing that. I continued the rest of the session by trying my best to stay focused and on the target, and the results speak for themselves. This Zen approach applied later in the games that day and helped me out with my click timing with the wingman. Whiffing is not bad, but I'm speaking as someone who has the... you know, I take every charm off because they're too distracting. What the hell was that guy? Am I the only one noticing that? So I always stress that staying hydrated is important, but today was the first time I actually took my advice for real. I purchased a 1.5 liter bottle which I decided to fill with water and drink every single day, and this was day 1. The hydration in my body helped me absolutely crush the routines, and I got 4 personal records with overall upswings on the entire routine. Oh, look at that, AK, cool. As a quick note for those who aren't aware, your body will not be able to overwrite to your muscle memory unless you're staying hydrated. Today was the day I went for the I die, I buy 10 packs challenge, so I had to make sure I was at my prime, and I delivered. Ideally, the pace will fix itself. Because we had really good pace at the start, and then ended up like getting rolled. Okay. Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos. Mary Sue.
He went straight down.
Come on. Ooh. Spicy meatball. The idea that I'm not allowed to die, because for every time I die, that's about $10 just straight out of my wallet. That's a different, whole different pressure than right now. What it means, like I said, it's money out of my bank account. Well, that was a good wipe, so I'm not worried anymore. So I had no idea. Camping. They are camping the corners.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
Day 6 had me fairly distracted, but it was around this time I had started meditating before going into Kovaaks. Meditating clears my brain fog, it makes it easier to focus on the screen and tap into the game. And it led to some pretty good results, despite me being pretty absent-minded. This ended up being more of a just chatting stream than a training session, And looking back, I regret not focusing 100% as it ended up not being an efficient training session and I veered off hard off of the upward course. That being said, without these negative results, I wouldn't know that I need to focus more. That being said, the good mood stayed throughout the entire day and it reflected in the gameplay. Maybe it would happen in pubs as well, but...
I'm doing some pretty spicy stuff today. I mean, he was punching me, but... I have like a very weird rule set about it too. I guess because I didn't really like one of the minutes. Taking this risk, dude. Worked out. Bad. Dude, no respect. On keto. I'm just offended that they thought they could do that.
Keeping in mind that I had overexerted myself in a gym the day previous, the final day of this week-long challenge was huge for me. I started the day with a kiwi loaded with vitamins, meditated, and then focused on controlled breathing as I was aiming, keeping my head clear and me focused on the targets, and it led to really spectacular results.
Processed diet shit sounds horrible.
That was a good run. That was really close. Let's go. Oh yeah, baby! Let's go, baby! Moving onward, I'll probably focus on controlled box breathing, where you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 4 seconds, plus the Kovaaks as our practice, with the idea of clearing my head and then practicing to use this in actual games. And the games that followed were insane.
I still don't know if that's like any better though. Like I still think that despite everything that's going on, someone like Aceu is just way more famous than Taxi. And I guess it would be more relevant because Taxi, assuming they're not unbanning him, is going to be extremely irrelevant very shortly. So the long-term play isn't there. I think that guy was the controller who's just in hotspot. Two shots. Come on, man. I know she knows. And I know she knows. Bye. He didn't even know. I feel like my aim and my reaction time is significantly better.
Consistently hitting Kovaaks did wonders to my aim and overall performance, but the biggest changes to my performance were done outside of the game. Upping my healthy habits with nutrition, hydration, gym habits, and most importantly, meditating helped me stay focused to work on the aim gains. As I mentioned earlier, my biggest weakness wasn't necessarily a lack of hand-to-eye coordination, but instead staying focused on the target. At the risk of sounding pretentious, for someone at my level, aim training isn't as much about getting better every game, since the possibility of a perfect game already is there. Instead, the focus is on improving our consistency, which regularly aim training clearly does. If you guys are interested in seeing the results in 1 month, 6 months, or anything else, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see the I Die I Buy 10 Packs video, which required so much focus, you can just click that right there. Anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow.